we're going to go ahead and get started today with our first grade friends. What is your favorite superhero? I want you to think in your head real fast who your favorite superhero is. It can be somebody from TV, it can be from the movies, it can be something your parents read to you. Who's your favorite superhero, Nick? Indiana Jones. Who's your favorite superhero? Davis?
You know, I don't watch a lot of shows, so I'm not that sure, but I like Star Wars.
Star Wars. Well, I think that's superhero. That counts. What do you think, Sierra? Who's your favorite superhero?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't really have.
You don't have one? Well, maybe you'll have one after we read today. Today we are going to read a book called Super Kids, and we are going to be making predictions about what is going to happen next in our book. But before we get started, we're going to look at some words that we're going to find. That's what this word is.
Dragon.
What do you think it is, Nick?
Dragon.
Dragon. This is dragon. What's a dragon?
It's, well, Chinese believe it's real, but it's not.
The Chinese believe it's real, but it's not. What were you going to say, Sierra?
Like, same as Davis.
You were going to say the same as Davis? Were you going to add something to that? No, same thing. Did y'all just learn about the Chinese New Year?
Oh, yeah.
I saw your posters up and I see all the decorations up in the hall. What do you think a dragon is, Nick? You don't know what a dragon is? Well, maybe after today you will. Here's a picture of a dragon.
It's really printed off the internet.
Is that a real picture?
No.
No.
Printed off the internet.
It's just printed off. Just printed off the internet. Okay, let's look at our next picture. Who knows what our next word?
Giant.
Giant. Very good. This is a giant. What's a giant, Sierra?
Big person.
It's a big person.
Something like that.
It's a big something, a big person that's big. What do you think it is, Nick?
It's a really tall guy.
It's a really tall guy. Davis, what do you think it is?
I think a giant is big enough to pick up this school.
To pick up this school, he would have to be pretty big, wouldn't he? Well, here's a picture of a giant. Is that a picture of a real person?
No.
No, that's a make-believe person, too, that we got off the internet. Okay, the last word we're going to look at
It's celebrate. Celebrate. Celebrate.
it is celebrate. Excellent. What does celebrate mean, Nick? What does it mean when you celebrate something?
It means like maybe
If you have a birthday party, you celebrate, and what do you do if you celebrate? How do you feel when you celebrate? You feel happy. What do you think, Davis? What do you think about celebrate? He said when you have a birthday party, you feel happy.
you have a birthday party, you get presents, you have cake, you really have a good time, you feel happy. It's a party. Party means celebrate.
Party means celebrate. It's a synonym,
Celebrate
which means the same thing.
Party.
And celebrate means party. Excellent. What do you think, Sierra?
When you're like giving people other things,
When you give people other things and you have cake and all that, and how do you feel?
happy.
You feel happy. So celebrate is a good time. And here's a picture of people who are celebrating.
That's a real picture.
And we're going to see these three words in our readings today. And you leave the three words out the entire time because it's there to assist the readers. And then we have another word, a proper noun that we are going to encounter in our text today, and this says Super Kids. And not only is it the title, it's also what they call the characters in the story. And we're going to leave this out to also help us. Okay, before we get started today though, we are going to talk about what we know about superheroes. What do we know about superheroes? You don't have to raise your hand. What do you know, Davis?
They can fly like Superman, or they can shoot webs like Spider-Man.
Sometimes they can fly, sometimes they can shoot webs. We are in activating prior knowledge about the content. So I'm looking at the content, which is Super Kids.
Like Batman.
Like Batman. So are these real characteristics they have that real people have?
No.
No, normally not. What are some other things we know about superheroes? What makes them super?
They can like jump really high.
Sometimes they can jump really high. Higher than a normal person? Yes, higher than a normal person. What else do we know, Sierra, about superheroes or
They kill the bad guys. That's all
Sometimes-
Harrison told me about superheroes.
Harrison tells you how they kill the bad guys. Yes, superheroes sometimes come in and kill the bad guys.
No, they have to do this.
Yes, sometimes they have these real loud sounds every time they do an action, and they make it real loud, and that's
Like
part
a
of their,
punch.
like a punch. That's right. It makes a really loud sound. Well, what we're going to be doing with our book today is we are going to be making predictions. Anyone know, have you heard that word in your class about making a prediction about something that's going to happen? Nick, have you heard that? What does it mean when you make a prediction? What does that mean if I tell you to make a prediction about something you think is going to happen? I'll let you think just a moment. Sierra, what do you think it means to make a prediction? What do you think that means?
When you didn't know much about it, you get more about it.
You don't know much about it, and so you're thinking more about it? Excellent. What do you think it means, Davis?
A guess.
Sometimes
Like
it's
you
a
guess.
guess. But you know what? It's even more than just a guess. A guess means you don't know anything about it.
I predict there is a 50% chance of snow on Wednesday.
You know what? You are already ahead of me, Davis. That's what we are going to predict today. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with prediction. But back to your guess real fast. Instead of just being a guess, the author, the person who writes the book, gives us clues in the book. And so we make a prediction based on what the author has told us. So it's not just a guess out of nowhere. There's a reason for our guess. So let's think about the weather today. Very good. You were already on to that. Nick, how was it outside when you came in today? It was cloudy. Sierra, how did it feel? It was a little cold. How did the air feel, Davis?
Felt cold and clouds, 15% chance of rain. A little musty out there.
Did you watch the Weather Channel this morning?
No, that's just a prediction.
That is a fabulous prediction. And what makes you think that? Is it because it's cloudy and it's chilly outside?
Yes, and plus I just want to act like the weather.
Well, I think you'd be an excellent weatherman. So what would I write down if I had you write a prediction, Nick? What would we write down on this Post-it note if you had to do a prediction about the weather today? What you thought the weather was going to do based on the fact that it's cloudy, it's a little chilly outside, and the weatherman said 15% chance of rain. What do you think is going to happen based on all those clues that you know? What would I write right here? What do you think is going to happen today?
It might rain.
It might rain. Excellent. So my prediction would be that it might rain. And that would be our prediction for today's weather, is that it might rain. And that's what we're going to do.